We've been fortunate that one of our worst children has left the school, and another one we've... I thought he might have visited one of the schools here, one of my old schools, Broady East there. But no, we're just fortunate, and a change of two children has allowed us to do lots of things, but also Ray's visit earlier in the year has given us a common language that we're starting to use, and Helen will talk about that. Our data has been pretty ordinary over the last couple of years, and it's hard to get good data when the students themselves haven't felt safe in the classroom or in the yard, and that's been coming through from the student opinion surveys and also from the parent opinion surveys, and our staff have been very honest about it. They haven't tried to hide it. They've been honest about where we are. So that's the journey where we've got to. I'll hand it over to, that's the background to the journey. Helen will then take us through the journey that we've made.
Okay, and then in came Ray. Chris did say to me when he was reading the PowerPoint, "Oh, shouldn't you have Professor Lewis?" So I'm glad you said that this morning, because I did write Ray. Where am I up to? When the day Ray came in, we wanted as many teachers as we could to be involved in hearing Ray and just being able to chat with him. So I got my grade to organise the Tabloid Sports Day, and they got together in groups, and they organised activities, and they ran it for the rest of the school while the other teachers could talk to Ray. And it was really interesting. Two of my really challenging students, halfway through the session, came up to me and said, "Mrs. Cleary, these kids won't listen to us. They won't do what they're told." And I thought, oh, welcome to our world. So it was actually a very good teaching point. The next day we could talk about how that sort of behaviour makes and causes frustration and things. So that was good. Some of the concerns that the staff raised was things that people have said before: the lack of consistency in the strategies that we were using across the school. Even though we have a set management plan with the steps of a warning, time out within the classroom, exiting to another classroom for 15 minutes and so on, teachers are still using it differently. Some people were giving more warnings, or some people weren't giving any warnings, and the kids were getting confused. So we've tried to make it more consistent so that everyone's using the same approach. Another concern the staff had was, while the kids would actually behave in our classroom, I mean, 3 of those D&I students are in my grade, and it's quite a challenging grade. They're actually, as a group, not bad when I'm there, but when they go to another specialist classroom, or on Thursdays when I'm here, I came back the next day and I've got 4 students suspended and no footy team. So that was a problem too. So we wanted to work on how we could transfer that behaviour they were having in the classroom to other situations. And just the change in behaviour of the students from different areas of the school. Some of the suggestions that Ray talked about were just following up about having that consistent approach across the school. And so we followed up this with in PDs later in the term. And just that importance of those follow-up conversations. A lot of teachers were taking a bit of an easy way out, sending the children out, but then, no, you deal with it, it's your problem. Not them coming back and talking to the child afterwards. What was your behaviour? Why did I send you out? What could you do next time? How did it impact on the others' learning? So that was getting the teachers to take more ownership of that behaviour as well. And that's been a bit of a challenge. Just that consistent language across the school used by the students and the teachers. And Ray just suggesting having visual pictures of those reminders of those rights, just right in every classroom, in the hall, in the office area. And these are the ones we actually came up with. And these are displayed in everyone's classroom. And it's the same as everyone says. Everyone has the right to learn. Everyone has the right to be safe and comfortable. So you can use them even if there's something happening in the classroom. If a child's being disruptive, you can just point to the sign. No, is this happening? No, okay. What can you do about it? So sometimes you don't even have to say anything. And just that, trying to encourage that feeling of communal responsibility, getting the kids to remind each other that what they're doing is not helping on, stopping them from learning. Okay, some of the strategies we've used. As a lot of schools, we've had the startup program, but we made sure this year that was really focused on our values at the school, and how what they look like in the classroom, what they feel like, what they sound like, and really brainstorming that the first week and getting the kids to come up with what they want to see in the classroom and what they think it should look like. Another thing we've introduced this term is a peer observation program. So teachers going into each other's classrooms and actually looking at their management strategies, looking at circle time activities, which is focusing on the students' emotions and how they're feeling. And at the moment, that's really important, especially because a lot of the kids are feeling really anxious and on edge with the school closing and going to another school. So and the teachers, we're all a bit. So that's been something that's been really powerful, and going in and talking to and afterwards coming back and talking with each other about what we saw and how we can use it in our classroom. Introducing the Positive Preps program, which just focuses on one social skill or one focused behaviour each week, and it's discussed at assembly each week. It's in the newsletter, and then each classroom will have activities focused around that behaviour. And those who are shown to be displaying that behaviour independently will be acknowledged. Just some of there's about 40 different ones. There's one different one each week, or there might be 50. And these are just some of them about respecting yourself, but a lot of on respecting property, respecting other people's opinions, not putting them down. Being a good winner and a good loser, which is not always one of the strengths of our kids. Taking turns, all those sort of things. And that's my messy classroom. So I won't, I thought it was actually a better photo until I put it on there and I realised how messy it was. So I won't. I was going to include things on data. I went to Chris and I got out all our data from earlier in the year, and there was all the suspensions and timeouts, and it was pretty depressing. and I was going to graph them because it has improved. It's improved significantly, but mainly because 2 of the kids are no longer there. So it wasn't really a true indication of the data. So I didn't think it was worth putting in, because some other poor schools dealing with this child, and probably their data's gone the other way at the moment. But we have made improvements, but there is still a long way to go. So, and that's all.